We are now almost halfway through August, and I just realized that I hadn't reviewed this summer gem yet. I said I was going to review it on my channel about a couple months ago, and for some reason I had kept pushing it back and back and back, but today is finally the day that I get to this absolutely amazing fragrance. This is going to be my review of Guerlain Homme. This is the only Guerlain fragrance that I own in my collection at the moment, and I gotta say, if I could only own one, this one might be it. Now, as crazy as that may sound, give me a chance to explain myself and explain my thoughts about this fragrance in this review. Let's start off with the scent. Yeah, now I think at this point in time I own 5 different mojito-based fragrances that have that mojito accord in them. I gotta say, this may be my favorite out of them all. I really love this fragrance, guys. It's awesome. This actually made it, I think it's an honorable mention on my top 10 summer list, but that does not do this one justice by any means. Right, so we got the mojito note in here, but it's like mojito and it's mint like you've never smelled it before. I can tell you that. This has that wow factor in it that just blows my socks off every time, in the opening especially. The big notes that I get are the mojito accord in here mixed with the lime and the mint. It is full-bodied, it is rich, and it has some depth to it. The problem with a lot of these mojito fragrances, pretty much every one that I own, is going to be that they are transparent, you know, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. I always sort of use this metaphor when I'm explaining it to people. Like, these mojito scents have a transparency to it, almost like a beautiful stained glass window, you know, where the light can come through. You can almost see through, the stuff is there, but it's kind of see-through, if you will, right? Transparent. Whereas this one, this is a different type of mojito scent. This is full-bodied, it has depth, and it just has a solid backbone to it where it's like, it smells like something is actually there behind it, backing it up. And I sort of liken that to almost like a really nice oil painting. Still just as beautiful, but light cannot pass through it. It has a solid core, a solid backbone to it, which makes this one different and unique. And that solid backbone for me is comprised of the rum and the vetiver accords. Guys, this fragrance is just beautiful. Like, it has the perfect amount of vibrancy to it. I think vibrancy or vibrant is the one word I would use to describe this one. It just emanates this beautiful, cooling, refreshing, minty scent to it, which I really like. The lime in here pops, slightly tart, slightly sweet. The rum in here got a nice slight little booziness in the background. The vetiver for some sharpness, for some masculinity. And again, this is a masculine mojito scent. Where all the other mojito fragrances generally tend to be on the unisex side, this one is unmistakably manly, masculine. Just love it, guys. It smells so good under hot weather when it's humid out and everything. That mint note just shines so really nicely, and the lime as well. It's beautiful, really. It's gonna be a 5 out of 5 for me for this scent. I could give it nothing less. It stays pretty linear. The opening, it's bold and it's really punchy and it's awesome, and it just kind of subtly just dries down and tones itself down over time, but it doesn't really change too much. It stays pretty linear on my skin. But for a fresh, mojito-y, masculine scent that just has the best breathtaking minty lime note that there is, this is a great one. So with performance, I did mention, if you will remember in my top 10 summer list, that most people will not get good performance out of this. But for me, I'm kind of a freak when it comes to mojito scents, because they for some reason, guys, get excellent performance on my skin. Like, seriously, they all perform at least average to better than average on my skin, which is kind of crazy. This one is no exception. Like, I get pretty much every time that I've worn it 6+ hours longevity out of it, which most of you guys won't get probably from what I've been reading and hearing other people say, but for me, that's what I get it from it at least. And especially in the opening, guys, the projection is really solid. I mean, it really projects nicely. Performance is much better than I was expecting. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. That's right, 3.5 out of 5. This one can actually fill rooms for me if I go, 3 or 4 sprays on the trigger, which is crazy, but maybe that's just me. Take that with a grain of salt. And these mojito scents last quite a long time on me. But for most people, the performance will mainly be average to below average. Back it up a little bit. Versatility, I pretty much worn this one everywhere. Spring, summer, definitely are the 2 seasons that this one shines. It has the greenness to it, I guess, that you could associate with spring, but it has that super summery mojito freshness for the summer, for the high heat. It works great. Super humid out today, and it's working like an absolute charm. Winter, fall, not so much. And for occasions, I've worn this almost everywhere. I've worn this dressed up with a full Super 4, and I've also worn it casually like this, night out amongst friends, to work. It works well for every occasion, It didn't really feel out of place almost anywhere that I wore it. Versatility, I can say it's going to be a 3.5 out of a 5, just because this is only relegated to half of the year for me when it's spring and summer. This doesn't really fit any one particular scenario like the best, but it fits everything nicely. Let's just put it that way, Overall, this one, at the end of the day, is a safe mojito scent I think you can wear almost anywhere for the warmer seasons of the year. Now, compliments. This one is a pretty good compliment getter for me. Out of all these mojito scents that I own, this one is the compliment getter of the bunch. Something about that little tiny twinge of sweet greenness with the mojito in the opening just really gets people's attention. I've had a comment before actually saying that I smell like freedom when I wear this, and it's kind of a weird compliment, but I can sort of see where it's coming from. This almost does smell like freedom in a weird way. It smells very liberating and very just fresh and uplifting and just amazing. This one sparkles, and that sparkling opening just gets people's attention. And I have got some other notices outside of that as well, so I'm gonna say it's a pretty solid compliment getter. It's gonna score, again, a 4 out of 5 for this compliment category. It's definitely really good for that. And lastly, the best category pretty much of this, the value guide. My goodness, this stuff is affordable. Are you kidding me? I got this bottle, I think this is the 1 ounce, for like literally $20. You can find even the 100 ml bottle for like under $30 on most discount websites, and I'll leave some links down below if you're interested in that. But that is an amazing value for a minty, mojito-y, masculine scent with this type of Guerlain quality on it. It's awesome, guys. A great value. Perfect 5 out of 5 for this. Hands down, it is a stunner in terms of value. Absolute great bang for the buck. Wow, this may be one of the highest rated fragrances I have given on my channel in a long time. I'm gonna score this one a 9 out of 10. That is an excellent rating for me. I've been loving every single time that I've been wearing it. It's so good. And so what are your thoughts on Guerlain Homme? Have you tried this one? Or if you want to try it, let me know about that in the comments. What is your opinion on this one? That's gonna be it for me, guys. Hope you guys have a nice rest of your day. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You can get some more fragrance videos just like this one. As always, see you next time with another video. Peace.